Hello and welcome everyone to Pathfinder Kingmaker. I am the Arcanum and I'm planning on playing through this game with all of you. And I'm very excited to play this game because I had that on my list of games to play for quite some time and was always intrigued, and now I finally get the chance to check it out. A little bit of background, I should say, is that I don't have any background. I am not familiar with the Pathfinder world. I obviously haven't played any of this game and also haven't seen anything, so I'm completely blind. I'm completely new to all of this, which also means that I want to ask you guys for a little bit of help and tips and tricks. Obviously no spoilers in terms of the story or the characters, whatever is going to happen within the game, but if you have advice or some trivia knowledge for me, that would be very much appreciated. So always feel free to leave those in the comments below and help me a little bit out. Now that also leads to another point, that this won't be a very good playthrough. And by that I mean that since I'm new to this, I will make mistakes, I will make wrong choices, I will not min-max my characters or anything like that. Won't be able to. But I think this is also the fun for me, and just trying to figure it out and doing it as best as I can. In terms of the character, we will create a new character very soon, and I'm sure that it will take some time, but for those who are not familiar with how I like to play these types of games that are very heavy on the role-playing aspect, is that I like to role-play that character as authentic as possible. And by that I mean that I will make choices based on what I think my character would choose. Not what I personally would choose, not how I necessarily would act, but how I think my character would decide or act in those situations. And I think that will be a lot of fun, and also a lot of fun to hear how you guys would do things, or would have done things, or have done things in the game. But I think that is enough for now in terms of an intro. Let's jump into a new game and see how it goes. So we have the main story, then there's Varnhold's Lot. I guess that's a DLC. And Beneath the Stolen Lands. So those are DLCs, I assume, but we will play the main story. Explore the Stolen Lands, a wild territory that has been contested for centuries. Hundreds of kingdoms have risen and fallen in these lands, and now it is time for you to make your mark by building your own kingdom. To succeed in this, you'll need to survive the harsh wilderness and the menace of rival nations, as well as perils from within your own court. Color me intrigued. Next. Now, obviously there are a lot of options here, and I won't make it any harder. But if you have any suggestions about things that I may be able to change once we're in the game, which would suit me as a new player, let me know so I can adjust it. But I think for now we will go just with the normal settings. I won't change anything here, since for the most part I don't really know what kind of and how much of an effect it will have anyway. So if you have any suggestions in regards to this, again, let me know. And now we get to the character creation. We can select a character, but I would like to create a new character for this. Create your champion from scratch. Choose the race, class, gender, alignment, customize their appearance, and finely tune their abilities, skills, and feats. Sounds great. Okay, we have a portrait. So that is all very similar to Pillars of Eternity. I played a little bit of Pillars, both of Pillars 1 and Pillars of Eternity 2. Now the question is, Kind of would have to make up what I want to be based on the portrait already, right? Or at least have a sense. That looks vicious and dangerous. Kind of like it. That looks very monkey. Okay, kind of like that. Let's click through a few characters just to get a sense, and maybe that will inspire me what I want to play. I thought a little bit about what kind of character I might want to play, but I couldn't really come to any conclusion. Some interesting. This would be interesting as well. It looks more like a bard, maybe. I think from the ones that I've seen, I'm kind of between this one and I think it was this one. Both I kind of like, but I don't really like his face. So that is what made the decision. So now I will kind of, I guess, base my character around the portrait when I get for an impression there. Let's see what kind of races we have to choose from. Okay, human. Let's go through these, since I am new to the universe as well. Human possess exceptional drive and great capacity to endure and expand, as such are currently the dominant race in the world. Their empires and nations are vast, sprawling things, and the citizens of these societies carve names for themselves with strength of their sword, arms, and the power of their spells. Humanity is best characterized by its tumultuousness and diversity, and human cultures run the gamut from savage but honorable tribes to decadent, devil-worshipping noble families in the most cosmopolitan cities. Human curiosity and ambition often triumph over their predilection for a sedentary lifestyle, and many leave their homes to explore the innumerable forgotten corners of the world, or lead mighty armies to conquer their neighbors simply because they can. The physical characteristics of humans are as varied as the world's climes. From the dark-skinned tribesmen of the southern continent to the pale and barbaric raiders of the northern lands, humans possess a wide variety of skin colors, body types, and facial features. Generally speaking, human skin colors assumes a darker hue to the closer to the equator they live. Okay. Oh, I can right-click on it for it to stay. Okay, then we have elves. The long-lived elves are children of the natural world, similar in many superficial ways to fey creatures, yet different as well. Elves value their privacy and traditions, and while they are often slow to make friends at both the personal and national levels, once an outsider is accepted as a comrade, such alliances can last for generations. Elves have a curious attachment to their surroundings, perhaps as a result of their incredibly long lifespan or some deeper, more mystical reason. Elves who dwell in a region for long find themselves physically adapting to match their surroundings, most noticeably taking on coloration reflecting the local environment. Those elves that spend their lives among the short-lived races, on the other hand, often develop a skewed perception of morality and become more morose forlorn, the result of watching wave after wave of companions age and die before their eyes. Although generally taller than humans, elves possess a graceful, fragile physique that is accentuated by their long, pointed ears. Their eyes are wide and almond-shaped and filled with large, vibrantly colored pupils. While elven clothing often plays off the beauty of the natural world, those elves that live in the cities tend to bedeck themselves in the latest fashion. We have quite a few here. Now I'm committed. Dwarves are a stoic but stern race, ensconced in cities carved from the hearts of the mountain and fiercely determined to repel the depredations of savage races like orcs and goblins. More than any other race, the dwarves have acquired a reputation as dour and humorless craftsmen of the earth. It could be said that dwarven history shapes the dark disposition of many dwarves, for they reside in high mountains and dangerous realms below the earth, constantly at war with giants, goblins, and other horrors. Dwarves are a short and stocky race and stand about a foot shorter than most humans, with wide, compact bodies that account for their burly appearance. Male and female dwarves pride themselves on the length of their hair, and men often decorate their beards with a variety of clasps and intricate braids. A clean-shaven male dwarf is a sure sign of madness, or worse, no one familiar with their race trusts a beardless dwarf. Then we have a gnome. Gnomes trace their lineage back to the mysterious realm of the Fae, a place where colors are brighter, the wildlands wilder, and emotions more primal. Unknown forces drove the ancient gnomes from that realm long ago, forcing them to seek refuge in this world. Despite this, the gnomes have never completely abandoned their Fae roots or adapted to mortal culture. As a result, gnomes are widely regarded by the other races as alien and strange. Gnomes are one of the smallest of the common races, generally standing just over 3 feet in height. Their hair tends toward vibrant colors such as the fiery orange of autumn leaves, the verdant green of forest at springtime, or the deep reds and purples of wildflowers in bloom. Similarly, their flesh tones range from earthy browns to floral pinks, frequently with little regard for heredity. Gnomes possess highly mutable facial characteristics, and many have overly large mouth, eyes, and an effect which can be both disturbing and stunning depending on the individual. Okay, we have a halfling. Optimistic and cheerful by nature, blessed with uncanny luck and driven by a powerful wanderlust, halflings make up for their short stature with an abundance of bravado and curiosity. At once excitable and easygoing, halflings like to keep an even temper and a steady eye on opportunity, and are not as prone as some of the more volatile races to violent and emotional outbursts. Even in the jaws of catastrophe, a halfling almost never loses his sense of humor. Halflings are inveterate opportunists. Not familiar with the word. Unable to physically defend themselves from the rigors of the world, they know when to bend with the wind and when to hide away. Yet a halfling's curiosity often overwhelms his good sense, leading to poor decisions and narrow escapes. Though their curiosity drives them to travel and seek new places and experiences, halflings possess a strong sense of house and home, often spending above their means to enhance the comforts of home life. Halflings rise to a humble height of 3 feet. They prefer to walk barefoot, leading to the bottoms of their feet with being roughly calloused. So kind of like hobbits. Tufts of thick, curly hair warm the top of their broad 10 feet. Their skin tends toward a rich almond color and their hair towards light shades of brown. A halfling's ears are pointed, but proportionally not much larger than those of a human. Then we have half-elves. Do I really need that when I read the elf one? I guess so. Well, almost through. Elves have long drawn the covetous gazes of other races. Their generous lifespan, magical affinity, and inherent grace each contributes to the admiration or bitter envy of their neighbors. Of all their traits, however, none so entrance their human associates as their beauty. Since the two races first came into contact with each other, the human have held up elves as model of physical perfection, seeing in the fair folk idolized versions of themselves. For their part, many elves find humans attractive despite their comparatively barbaric ways, drawn to the passion and impetuosity with which members of the younger race play out their brief lives. Sometimes this mutual infatuation leads to romantic relationships. Though usually short-lived even by human standards, these trysts commonly lead to the birth of half-elves, a race descended of two cultures yet inheritor of neither. Half-elves can breed with one another, but even these pure-blood half-elves tend to be viewed as bastards by humans and elves alike. Half-elves stand taller than humans but shorter than elves. They inherit the lean build and comely features of their elven lineage, but their skin color is dictated by their human side. White half-elves retain the pointed ears of elves. Theirs are more rounded and less pronounced. A half-elf's human-like eyes tend to range a spectrum of exotic colors running from amber or violet to emerald green and deep blue. We have the half-orc. Half-orcs get the worst of both worlds. Still, while not exactly accepted, half-orcs in civilized societies tend to be valued for their martial prowess. They are usually forced to grow up hard and fast, constantly fighting for protection or to make names for themselves. Feared, distrusted, and spat upon, half-orcs still constantly manage to surprise their detractors with great deeds and unexpected wisdom, though sometimes it's easier just to crack a few skulls. Both genders of half-orcs stand between 6 and 7 feet tall, with powerful builds and greenish-grayish skin. Their canines often grow long enough to protrude from their mouth, and these tusks, combined with heavy brows and slightly pointed ears, give them their notoriously bestial appearance. While half-orcs may be impressive, few ever describe them as beautiful. And then we have the Aasimar. Oops. Aasimars are humans with a significant amount of celestial or other good outsider blood in their ancestry. While not always benevolent, Aasimar are more inclined towards acts of kindness rather than evil. Aasimar heritage can lie dormant for generations, only to appear suddenly in the child of two apparently human parents. Most societies interpret Aasimar birth as good omens, though it must be acknowledged that some Aasimar take advantage of the reputation of their kind, brutality subverting their exploitation of others with acts of terrifying cruelty or abject venality. Aasimar look mostly human, except for some minor physical traits that reveal their unusual heritage. Typical Aasimar features are hair that shines like metal, unusual eye or skin color, or others. Interesting. So let's look at them physically. Human, pretty straightforward. We have an elf here, dwarf here, a gnome, a halfling, a half-elf, a half-orc, and an Aasimar. So what? Now that I got through all of that, let's... we also have race traits. We probably should go through that. +2 to 1 ability score. At creation, the character gets +2 to an ability of their choice. Pretty good. Feat. A feat is an ability a character has mastered. Feats often allow characters to circumvent rules or restriction. Characters gain 1 feat at the first level and every 2 levels after. Humans receive bonus feat at first level. Okay. Skilled. Humans gain an additional skill rank at first level and 1 additional skill rank whenever they gain a level. That is pretty good. But again, I'm not trying to min-max anything. This is more about the role-playing aspect. For our character, based on our portrait, I am not sure. I think it's either a half-elf, Aasimar, or human. But yeah, we'll see. Keen senses, dwarves, elves, gnomes, half-elves, half-orcs, and halflings receive +2 racial bonus on perception check. Elven magic, elven immunities. I won't go through them in detail right now. Do we want to be a half-elf? Elven immunities. Adaptability. Half-elf receives skill focus as a bonus feat at first level. Celestial resistance. Aasimar have acid resistance 5, cold resistance 5, and electricity resistance. Heritage. Most Aasimar do not know exactly where their celestial power came from, and the similar qualities of many such celestial touch beings hint at a relatively indistinct or all-encompassing heavenly force in their lineage. Some, however, possess more unique traits and abilities inherited from their supernatural forebears, attributes that hint at the precise type of celestial beings. Okay. Light halo. Aasimar possess the ability to manifest halos. They can create a light centered on their head at will. While using a halo, they gain a +2 circumstance bonus on saving throws against becoming blinded or dazzled. I kind of like the idea of us being an Aasimar. So that's nice. Then more of a darker skin tone. I think maybe this one. Do we have something similar to the dreadlocks? Not really. Guess that is the closest, right? We could imagine that that is. Not really. Doesn't look too close, honestly, but let's go with that. I think a regular body type. No extra stats, fair enough. But I think that looks good. Oh boy. Okay. A class. I won't go through all of the class descriptions here right now. I can't take any of these. So I guess for those, guess not. Alchemist. The alchemist's reputation is not softened by his exuberance. Some would say dangerous recklessness. Interesting. Could be interesting. Barbarian. Bard. Like druid. I could see us being a druid. Oh, we can choose our... While some druids might keep the fringe of battle, allowing companions and summoned creatures to fight while they confront foes with the powers of nature, others transform into deadly beasts and savagely wade into combat. Druids worship personification of elemental forces, natural powers, or nature itself. Typically, this means devotion to a nature deity, though druids are just as likely to revere vague spirits. Could be something. Light druid. The devoted servant of nature corrupted, ruined, and destroyed. Blight druids are the caretakers of lands ravaged by natural disaster, while some are devoted to reforming and reclaiming lands despoiled by ravages of civilization. Others seek out the more rapacious violence inherited. Okay. Defender of the true world. Some druids specialize in tracking down, diverting, and slaying Fey threats. Fey speaker. Some druids hear the whispers of the natural world like Fey creatures do and learn to mimic those. Bond with nature. First is a close tie to the natural world, granting the druid one of the following cleric domains. Second option is to form a close bond with an animal companion. I know that those are always very... I mean, it sounds interesting. That looks pretty awesome. Inquisitors tend to move from place to place, chasing down enemies and researching emerging threats. As a result, they often travel with others, if for no other reason than to mask their presence. Inquisitors work with members of their faith whenever possible, but even such allies are not above suspicion. Monster Tactician. Tactical Leader. Sacred Hunts Master. Ooh, so tough. Ranger. Stormwalker. Slayer. Tracking down targets, Slayers are consummate hunters, living for the chase. It's so hard to pick with all the subcategories as well, or subclasses. Fighter. I kind of like the druid idea. The question is just, we want to go for as a face speaker, having like an animal companion, which I like, but I also know that for these types of games that is a very common choice. I do like to do something different every now and then. We could play as a rogue. Eldritch Scoundrel, Arcane Caster, Students of Arcane Magic, Legend Domain, and Stealth Eldritch Scoundrels are a rare breed of adventurer, most commonly found seeking lost and valuable arcane writings in the ruins of fallen empires. I kind of like the idea. That sounds interesting. Weapon Finesse. Light weapon, elven curved blade, S-stock or rapier made for a creature of your size category. You may use your dexterity modifier instead of your strength modifier. Okay. Trap finding. Okay. Sun trips. Eldritch Scoundrels can cast a number of cantrips or a 0-level spell. These spells are cast like any other spell, but they are not expected when cast and may be used again. Eldritch Scoundrel. Rogues are proficient with all simple weapons, plus the hand, crossbow, rapier, short sword, and short bow. An Eldritch Scoundrel is not proficient with any armor or shield. Armor sometimes interferes with an Eldritch Scoundrel's gesture. Detect magic. I kind of like the idea. I think we go with that. Black and red cloak. Heritage. Oh boy. Most Aasimar do not know exactly where their celestial power came from, and their similar qualities and the similar qualities of many such celestial touched beings hint at a relative indistinct or all-encompassing heavenly force. Aasimar of uncertain heritage have a +2 racial bonus to wisdom and charisma, and a +2 racial bonus on persuasion. Angel would be to strength and charisma, intelligence and charisma, to lore, knowledge of arcana. That could be good. Idlekin goes to constitution, charisma, to lore, nature. Perception checks can be used to summon nature's ally. Oh. Lawbringer. Constitution, wisdom, persuasion, perception. Muse touch. Dexterity and charisma. Persuasion, that sounds good. Muse touch. The Muse touch epitomizes freedom and joy and travel the world to liberate less fortunate individuals. Let's take this. Muse touched. Oh, now I have 25 points here. Okay, our character. recommended ability. Yeah, that makes sense. I think like getting dexterity to 20 maybe. Or 18. I feel like having 15 in wisdom, some. Wisdom describes a character's willpower, common sense, awareness, and intuition. I feel like that is fitting for the character. Maybe even less strength. More dexterity. A little more constitution. Skill points. Ooh. We're pretty good at stealth. Trickery. Character's ability to perform tasks that require delicate manipulation. That sounds good. Lore, nature, and religion. I feel like our character would, as an Inquisitor, know a little bit about that. Persuasion as well. And perception. I feel okay with that. Now, we have abilities. How do I do this? Point blank shot. So I just choose one of these? I don't know how these work. Okay, point blank shot is recommended. Those on attack and damage rolled with ranged weapon at ranges of up to 30 feet. Alertness. You get +2 bonus on perception skill checks. If you have 10 or more ranks in that skill, the bonus increases +4. Spending a swift action each round, you can imbue your weapon with a fraction of your power. Combat reflex. You may make a number of additional attacks of opportunity per round equal to your dexterity bonus. With this feat, you may also make attacks of opportunity while flat-footed. I kind of like that for our rogue. Can we select more? Okay. It's combat reflexes. I like it. Not sure if that's a good choice. Now, what do we have? Lots of magic missiles. Sounds good. Reduce person. Don't fit. Vanish sounds good. The touched creature becomes invisible for a short time. If a check is required, an invisible creature has a +2 bonus on its stealth checks. Like that would make sense for us to have. Summon monster. Extraplanar dog. It appears where you designated an axe according to its initiative check results. Attacks your opponents in the best of its ability. Also like that. Sleep. A sleep spell causes a magical slumber to come upon 4 HD of creatures, and those who are closest to the spell point of origin are affected first. HD that are not sufficient to affect a creature are wasted. Your gestures and droning incantation facing nearby living creatures, calling them to stop and stare blankly at you in a dazed condition. Roll 2d4 to see how many total HD of creatures you affect. Like that for us as well. Missile of magical energy darts forth from your fingertips and strikes its target, dealing 1d4 plus 1 point of force damage. Every 2 caster level beyond first, you gain an additional missile. I kind of like that, like having one direct offensive spell, then I guess a utility spell that could also be useful in combat, and then yeah, I like that, and I think that fits our character. Character. Okay, we need a voice.
You should have run. Wherever my legs carry me.
Contemplate on your mistakes.
Let's move. Let us bide our time. No contest. My skills exceed yours.
Let's go as reserved. And let's be born on the 24th. Just like I was. Of Abadius. Whatever that means. You need a name, I will have to think about that. Neutral good. Creatures of our moral and personal attitudes are represented by its alignment. Good characters protect innocent life, evil characters debase or destroy it, whether for fun or for profit. Lawful characters tell the truth, keep their word, respect authority or tradition, and judge those who fall short of their duties. Chaotic characters follow their conscience, resent being told what to do, favor new ideas over traditions, and I would say we go with a chaotic good. The name. We need an Inquisitor name for a rogue. Always hard to come up with fantasy names. Not make them too cheesy. And now that I said that, whatever I will come up with probably sounds too cheesy, right? Could call her George. That wouldn't be cheesy. It was just a little strange. Let's go with something simple. Nyx. We call her Nyx. Nyx the Inquisitor Rogue. I like it.
I failed.
What? Already? Already failed? Well, that's rough. Let's see how things go. I mean, usually don't go for like a rogue. But I'm intrigued how this will go. Inquisitor Rogue. A bit of arcane magic going on. Special abilities, coup de grace. Full round action, you can use a melee weapon to deliver a coup de grace to a helpless opponent. But to make a hit and score a critical hit, if the defender survived the damage, he must make a fortitude save or die. Delivering a coup de grace provokes attacks of opportunity from threatening opponents. You can't deliver coup de grace against a creature that is immune to critical hits. Glitter dust. Cloud of golden particles covers everyone and everything in the area, causing creatures to become blinded and visibly outlining invisible things for the duration of the spell. All within the area are covered by dust, which cannot be removed and continues to sparkle until it fades. Each round at the end of your turn, blind creatures may attempt new saving throws to end the blindness effect. That is interesting. You can choose to take a -4 penalty on attack rolls and combat maneuver checks to gain a +2 dodge bonus to your armor class. Yeah, read the Light Halo, read about the Asimar, trap finding. Okay, I think we are all set up, and this will conclude the character creation. Thank you all for joining. Let me know what you think. If I already screwed up. Probably did. But yeah, maybe if you have some additional trivia and lore about the races, or especially about our character, that could be helpful without spoiling anything, let me know in the comments down below. But this is the character creation episode, which means that the first real episode will come out very, very soon after this. So a double feature episode, and I plan going forward to make the episodes roughly an hour long. I can't promise that I will upload daily or even every 2 days. I will, because it's a little bit longer videos, and there will be a lot of reading, I assume. So I want to be in the right headspace to record these. So I will continue with these, but there might be some shorter, some longer breaks in between. But I will try to upload them as regularly as I can. Again, thank you very much for watching this character creation episode, and thank you if you put some tips, tricks, and advice and trivia down in the comments below. Very much appreciated. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video. Maybe consider subscribing to the channel to follow my journey through Pathfinder Kingmaker or Queenmaker, and share the video with friends, family, and the people on the internet. That all helps me out a whole bunch and will bring you more content in the future. I will be back with the very first story episode of Pathfinder Kingmaker very soon. Until then, have a great time.